In this video, you will learn about Eva, which is a software for Amazon sellers, and we will be talking about their main features like the Smart Repricer tool, also the Replenishment forecasting tool, as well as their reimbursement service. And if you would like to try Eva and check their website, see the link below in the description of this video. And our guest today is the co-founder of Eva, Hi Mark. And this video is part of the Demo Mondays video series, where for the last couple of years we're inviting different Amazon software creators and ask them to present their tools just like this on the screen. So let's invite Eva. Hello, hi. So could you please introduce us to Eva? What does it do and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Thank you very much, Augustus, for having me again. What Eva does is it's a profit maximization software for Amazon sellers. And we do that by providing reimbursements, dynamic pricing, as well as out of stock prevention by our restocking forecasting. That's what we do.
All right. And what kind of Amazon sellers or e-commerce sellers are you targeting with your product?
Well, anybody who is a private label brand doing more than 10K, I think that will be definitely a great benefit to use Eva, to use dynamic pricing, make sure the reimbursements are done correctly. Anybody who is using a 3PL or another type of independent warehouse, that will make a lot of sense to use Eva.
And for international viewers, it's always important to know what marketplaces do you cover with Eva?
So we cover all America's marketplaces, including Brazil, Mexico, Canada, US, all European marketplaces, the EU ones, as well as UK, also the all Middle East, including UAE, Saudi Arabia, and also, very recently, we launched our services in India too. So that's also covered. Very soon, in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we are going to launch in Australia and Japan as well.
All right, it's great. And now we're ready to jump to your screen and let's see how Eva works and how to use it.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for the opportunity. So I would like to start from the beginning. So it's also showing you all your profits and the profit analytics. We take 24 months of data because it's also an artificial intelligence engine. And the last year's data helps a lot with the seasonality, by understanding the trends, understanding the competition. So once the data is downloaded, then we are able to show total sales, cost of goods sold, refunds, expenses, profits, quantities, average sales for every single month. And if I click to one single month, it will give me the distribution of expenses. So we are able to bring all types of Amazon costs and also the cost of goods sold, as well as all the advertising costs into the picture. So that's important for the Amazon sellers too. One of the things very unique to Eva is to be able to show for each state, especially if it is US, what is how many sales are done in California or in Texas or in Illinois. So that's also an advantage. Then we are also monitoring the inventory storage fees. It's kind of growing by the time. Amazon is always adding, some more into that storage fees. So it's important to track them. And finally, at the store level, we know what is available, what is in transit, what is inbound, what is unfulfillable as well. That's at the store level, to give a good idea to the seller. Now, when we look at it at the daily sales, the sellers can see, what is in sales, what is the advertising cost, as well as the profits. As the sellers are, kind of adding their cost information, we are also integrated with the advertising. So we take also all the advertising costs and make sure that they are incorporated into monthly calculation, daily calculation, as well as at the SKU level. Now, if I take a single day, what I can see is like every single product that is sold is already listed, and what is it like the average sales price, the refund rates. And if I just click to any single one of them, that shows me how the dynamic pricing works, but I'll try to tell it more later why dynamic pricing is important. But I can also see the full profit analytics for this particular SKU. For example, here, the organic sales, the advertising sales, the total advertising cost, as well as if I click to any single day, it gives me a complete view of the total profits and margin and ROI, incorporating the advertising costs as well, and which is kind of very important for the Eva sellers. There is a lot more in terms of dashboards, like the top ASINs and how they are performing, how we segment the ASINs, like top selling ASINs, medium selling ASINs, low selling ASINs, as well as we talked about the 24 months of data, so the sellers can see how it was working last year versus this year. And everything is pretty much configurable. Like, I can play with what I really want to see, and this comparison gives you a great idea how the trends or the seasonality is incorporated into the decisions as we are getting the year-on-year sales data. Now, I would like to talk more about the three big, functionalities, how it can help the sellers. Now, the number one is the reimbursements. Reimbursements is pretty much like, every single seller knows about the reimbursements. Basically, Amazon is, not always doing the things right. Things are lost in the warehouse. Things are lost in during the inbound shipments, or maybe the customer return is not the real product, but something else. So it's hard for Amazon to take care of like billions of transactions. So there is always a discrepancy, and that discrepancy is what you kind of claim from Amazon manually, which is called the reimbursements. Now, a very important thing about Eva, if you are doing less than 100K per month as a private label reseller, once you're an Eva customer, all the reimbursements are done for free. So there is no commission, nothing. And we are also making this super transparent. Like, we look at the last 18 months, we make sure that the major categories are all covered, but under that, we look at more than 20 plus categories. We look at every single dollar, and you can even see that, for example, on Eva, that the Eva guys are doing the reimbursements, and like $13 or even 46 cents is recovered. So you don't need to think about the reimbursements anymore, and you don't pay anything for that if you are a seller doing less than 100K. If you are doing more than 100K, we have a commission. As the number of reimbursement cases are increasing, the commission is 15% for everyone. So, which is also a very attractive commission rate, and it's all transparently done. We take care of everything about reimbursements. We do not leave any money on the table. So this is the number one thing that the number one feature that I want to show. Now, the sellers, that will definitely maximize profits, but the second thing many of the private label sellers are still not using is the dynamic pricing. Advertising is very important. How you are, kind of putting your images together, text together, SEO is very important. But we still believe one of the top 3 reasons why people go into Amazon, because they want to get the best price. So you need to have the best price, that's for sure. So you need to know your competition, you need to know your demand trends, but also while having the best price, you want to maximize the profit. So that's the kind of the major thing about the dynamic pricing. and maybe only 5% of the brands, a lot of aggregators, and Amazon is using dynamic pricing very effectively. And in terms of dynamic pricing, I just want to, switch from one store to another. By the way, this also shows you how easy it is. For example, if you have 50 stores as an agency, if you are operating in 8 marketplaces, you can switch in half a second from one store to another on Eva very easily, like I did right now. And now these are the kind of the products that you see on the pricing management dashboard. And the dynamic pricing is trying to find the best price point to maximize the profit without sacrificing the velocity, because velocity is always important. You spend a lot of money to advertising to make sure that you have the right velocity. What we are doing is find the right price point so you maximize the profits. More than 500 private label sellers are using this function successfully. And I have a bold statement here. In 30 days, we are able to raise your profits at least by 10%. And it's very easy to know if it works or not for you. You can just, join Eva, start free trial. And in 15 days, we're going to show you the difference between how the dynamic pricing works and what happened with the static pricing previously. What I can do very easily from pricing management, I can pick the ones which are fulfilled by Amazon. I can check the inventory levels, the available ones. I can look at the pricing, the enabled ones. By the way, there is also this buy box status, which is maybe sound to be less relevant for the private label sellers, but actually by looking at the buy box status, you can see the ones which the buy box is suppressed, because if the buy box is suppressed for any reason, you may lose definitely 30-40% of your sales, but also if there is any competition. Because the hijackers, there's always somebody else may be on your listing, and it's important to know that there is somebody on your listing that if you want to do anything about it. Now, let's pick this one product and see how the dynamic pricing worked. The product was, first of all, at the level of $21.88. And you see that we are checking the inventory levels. We are checking the sales trend for yesterday, last week, last quarter, last year. As the orders are not coming, the price is gradually decreasing to find a best price. Obviously, there is a minimum price defined. There is a maximum price defined, which means that the pricing will never be above the max price and never be below the min price. But the pricing will change because the trends for this particular product is not in the best shape. But maybe for another product like this, now what you see is there is nice level of inventory. The sales trends are typically up. And because of that, the prices are gradually going up without doing anything. And that's kind of the most important. Having said that, at some point, you see that the inventory level is less than what is defined by the seller, only 16 days of supply left. And because the inventory levels are low, the prices start to go up regardless of the sales trend, because we don't have enough inventory. So what we are trying to do is maximizing the profits for the remaining number of units on the FBA. This works for the FBA. So what I can tell you about that is we take care of, if the stock is low, the prices will go up, and it will happen gradually. If the stock is in good shape, you have enough stock, then we look at the sales trends, and the demand-based pricing starts working. Now, that's how the dynamic pricing works. But there is even more. There is something we call the psychological pricing, which is a new function. A lot of sellers, they use to 99, like the last 2 digits, they set as 99 cents or pennies, or, pesos, then it can be the last digit. Maybe, for example, in this particular case, it is set to 8. It can also be the first digit after the decimal point, like it can be 98, 97, 99. So we also give the option to the sellers to define their prices. And if you look at the prices, because the last digit is set as 8, you're going to see prices like 27.88, 22.48, or 24.68. So that's what we call the psychological pricing. And it helps a lot with, make sure that, the customers think, your prices are competitive, and psychologically it may help with maybe, converting more sellers by having a 3.99 price instead of a 4.02 price. So this is all about like demand-based or inventory-based pricing is all about the same ASIN. What about like the competitive ASINs? Because there is also, a lot of competition. There are similar products. For example, in this particular scenario, there are 3 different ASINs that are very similar to this product. It's not the same. It's competitors' products. And what you want to do is you want to, first of all, monitor these 3 products. And here you go. These are all selected here. But also, maybe you don't want to be just monitoring, because monitoring is maybe available in some other tools as well. But none of the tools in the market allow you to compete with them. Like competition means that, for example, I can enable pricing and I can say, I want my maximum price always to be 5% below the competitor price. If I do that, what will happen is, going back to the green one is representing our own product, right? But if I do that, then the maximum price, which is defined by the user, is the white dashed line on the pricing dashboard. Then the price will never go, the max price will be updated based on the competitor price, meaning that you are never going to be above 5% above the competitor price. So the similar ASIN pricing will help you to really define your prices according to your competitors. We know that, for example, if I maybe, just visit I can visit the Seller Central product page or the offers page for this particular product. Let's say if I just click to this product and, if I check it out, this product is already targeted like any other private label scenario by another product, which is a competitive product. But you see that this product has 149.95. So it is almost like 2 times more expensive than our own product. Now, there is no problem at all. But what if it was $65? And you see that from your page, your competitor is stealing your sales. So what can happen is like you can easily define the similar product pricing and make sure that this is not happening by monitoring or competing with the competitors. Now, another thing we call, it's also a very advanced functionality. A lot of sellers love it. And we know that it is, Eva is the only solution that has it, which is the parent ASIN management, and also defining the prices based on a parent ASIN. Just to explain it a bit further, we know that, the parent ASIN is a virtual product on Amazon, and there are different variations of the same product. For example, size, color, or 1-pack, 2-pack, 4-pack versions. These are all, or FBA or FBM, these are all different variations of the same product. For example, if I just click to the first one, I see 4 variations. 2 of them are the FBM versions, and 2 of them are the 1-pack version and the 2-pack version of the same product. A different school of thought is, like, there are two different schools of thought here about pricing. One would say, I don't care about the variations, let them find their price dynamically based on the demand. But what if you have 50 different variations and you want the price to be consistent between different variations? So what you can do is then you can easily set one of these products as a master SKU, 13.99. And then, for example, the FBM version, you want the FBM version to be always $2 more than the FBM version. And then you enable pricing, and it will be always 15.99 as soon as I save it. What about the 2-pack version? The 2-pack version, you want that one to be always not 2 times more, but 80% more than the master SKU. And then I just pick it and I just make it 80% more. And then the other FBM version, the 2-pack, I don't want to do anything about that. Let that find its own way. So I don't need to enable parent pricing. So which means that if you do it, we'll look at the total volume of the price of the products. And based on that, the demand will be calculated, not only based on only one single SKU, but all of it. And as the demand is increasing on the first one from $13.99 to $15, eventually the 2-pack version will also increase by 80%. And the FBM version will be not 15, but 17, because we define it in this way. This will give you a great way of controlling your variations and the variation pricing based on dynamic pricing. Just this feature alone is able to get you an additional 5-6% profit increase over a month period, and it's very easy to control it. So that's the parent-child pricing. You know, there is, you know, if going back to the pricing management, if there is any competition on your listing, like hijackers come into that, we can easily see the hijackers and, kind of come up with a strategy, which is to get rid of them and win the buybacks. And I just want to give you an example of that too, because a lot of sellers, they don't even know if there is any hijackers on their listing. For example, here we see like 2 hijackers, like the competitor 1, actually 3, competitor 2 in a different color, and competitor 3. And these are all trying to sell the private label product, which is owned by you, where you have the buybacks, because what happens is like, as much as possible, depending on how you define your minimum price and maximum price, Eva will get the buybacks from your hijackers. Hijackers are typically the resellers. If they are not able to make profit in a week or so, and if they are FBA sellers, they wouldn't, try to buy your products because they have 10,000 plus other products to buy and make money. They are not going to be keen, like try to sell your product if they are not making any money. So it makes a lot of sense. So this is about the pricing management. I think I covered a lot of it. Obviously, you see that we give a lot of information about what is available, what is in the fork, what is in FC transfer, meaning that it's in transit between Amazon warehouses, what is inbound. Another very important add-on feature is the one-click replenishment forecasting. As we are controlling the sales velocity by dynamic pricing, we also show you what's your in-stock cost value, inbound cost value, and full replenishment amount, which is defined as 60 days of inventory. If I just scroll down, for every single item, I'm able to see how many units are inbound or how many units are available, or for example, in this scenario, what is in transit. Now, a lot of sellers have virtual assistants. They spend hours and hours and days to understand how many units they need to restock, they need to replenish. And with Eva, it's pretty easy because you can pick like, I want to replenish all my items for 60 days period, run a simulation. First of all, the system will tell you that you need $29,000. And then you're going to see that for every single SKU, how many units are required and how much money is required. I can also do it in a different way. Instead of 29,000, what if I'm always dedicating a $10,000 per week, and then the system knows the ROI, margin, the sales price for any particular item, and the system will give you a recommendation. Okay, here is like, you need to replenish this first unit by 990 items, but the second one only 120, the fourth one don't do any restocking, and this normally takes hours. And this will give you, replenishment forecasting will give you like a one-click, 1 minute, very good view where we are running an optimization algorithm. We make sure that the replenishment is done first on the high profitable items are prioritized, and then, preventing the out of stock. But then, what you can do is you can easily export the data by the export replenishment. And once you export the data, you can use it, you can always change it and create a PO from the same system and send it to your 3PL. So your 3PL will be also ensuring that you are getting the right products restocked. The whole process can take maybe 5 minutes rather than, days or hours, if not days. So that's the replenishment. So I covered the pricing, reimbursements, replenishments. Obviously, we are using advertising data to incorporate the calculations, the advertising cost into daily sales. But also we are giving a very good view of what's going on with the advertising in terms of profits, clicks, conversion rates, impressions, ACOS, CTR. That's also very helpful for the sellers too. So, right, I think, I covered all the major functionality. There is a lot more, obviously that I can show, but it pretty much gives you the idea. What I can tell you is, the whole platform's target is to maximize the profits by increasing the sales and increasing the profits and showing you precisely where your kind of leakages are, and using the dynamic pricing and increasing the profits, reducing the time you spend on replenishments, and make sure that, the reimbursements are done by us, by the Eva team. It's an end-to-end service. And again, below 100K, completely free, no commission. Even without giving commissions, you're going to save 25% of thousands of dollars that you are spending into, reimbursement companies. So that may also be very, very helpful.
Thank you very much, Hai. And could you give us overview of the pricing? How does your tool, is priced according to all the features?
Right. So from the starter plan to the ultimate plus plans, I mean, everything, all features, functions are included. So there is no feature which is excluded. So the pricing is done based on the monthly revenue, because we want to help the ones starting their Amazon journey. It starts from $49. And then, after, $15,000, it's $79, and up to $100,000, it's $189. The first three plans, Starter Plus, Essential Plus, and Growth Plus, they are called Plus because they also include reimbursements, commission-free, and you don't pay anything. Then the Premium and our Ultimate plans, the 289 and 499, there is a free reimbursements. For example, on the Ultimate plan, it is for up to $1 million, up to 250,000 product listing, which is more than enough, but just to show our elasticity of the infrastructure and everything. And we also deliver a 4,200 free reimbursement credits. So we do it also for free. For any plan, I can tell you that we always do this analysis. If you're a premium customer doing, for example, less than 250K, we can definitely show you that you are going to save maybe $5,000 to $15,000 by that 289 plan. If you're an Ultimate customer, your savings will be much more than that. It can go up to $50,000, $100,000. We work with sellers doing $4 or $5 million a month, and we were able to show them like a $50,000 additional profit. So paying $500 becomes almost like a nonsense thing, ignorable thing when it comes to the overall value that is generated.
And how does pricing affect the marketplaces or stores when sellers connect multiple stores? Is it per store in one marketplace?
Actually, if you're an EU seller, typically the EU sellers are operating in all different marketplaces. There is no additional cost of doing that. So you can add as many marketplace stores, and the cost will be the same. We just look at the total revenue, and based on that, it's a simple pricing. Look at the total revenue, and just that will be the price. All features will be included. There is one more thing to say. If you are not interested in anything but only reimbursements, we have a $49 reimbursement package, which comes with $500 free reimbursements, which is kind of reducing the commission to 10%. So it makes sense to start with a reimbursement package as well if you are only interested in reimbursements. But typically, 95% of our customers is in one of these 5 plans.
Great. Thank you very much. Big value for Amazon sellers with your tool. And could you reveal some upcoming features you're going to present to your users?
Absolutely. So very recently, we started also, 2 warehouses in US. One is in Texas. The other one is in California. So for European sellers, we take care of everything about 3PL for very, very low costs. And we subsidize that. We make sure that, more people are using our 3PL services, because one of the software extensions that we will be delivering is to streamline the 3PL services, meaning that in the future, very near future, the Amazon seller will also know how many units are available on the 3PL directly from Eva, and also create a PO for their suppliers, manufacturers directly from Eva. So we're going to be streamlining the inventory and order management. So that will be the next thing that we are going to do with the supply chain. And after that, we are already providing an end-to-end service for advertising, and we are going to automate more of the advertising tasks. And this will be also for free, will be also included in the feature set as well in 2022.
Great. Thank you very much. Hi. And those who want to try Eva, you will find the link below in the description. And good luck in your business. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
If you would like to try Eva, check the link below in the description of this video. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video with Haimak, where he is explaining what is Amazon's dynamic pricing and why you as an Amazon seller should use it to increase your profits.